Today is January 9th, 2017, and this is Maelstrom Radio.
Maelstrom Radio. With your hosts, Flatus and Shinder.
And welcome everybody to Maelstrom Radio. My name is Flatus, and with me as always, the man from the north, the mystery, the legend, Shin.
The one who can't spell.
Keeping it classy.
I mean,
I have Coco.
it wouldn't be a show if we didn't have some sort of error in it.
Yeah, it's okay.
And like I've seen you've been working so hard on making all of our new awesome things. Like
our possibly used today video thing, and my new mic stand, which you could kind of see the tip of my shock mount here.
Just the tip.
So hopefully now the sound quality on my end is gone. He would have told me already before we launched, so he hasn't said anything, so that's a good sign.
We're all looking good.
It's rare. It's rare.
Our backdrop's a little bit weird today.
It's I know, and it sucks because where our chat box is actually the symbol for the 12 at the church over in the shroud, and you can't see it. It's behind our chat box.
Are we able to fade out all the things, or we're not there yet? I don't have quite the technical piece.
I can possibly do one of these. Maybe.
You got so many new toys and stuff, we haven't quite figured them all out.
Yeah. You know what?
All right, well maybe we'll try it for next episode.
Yeah, I should probably do our back. I'll create a thing for our backdrop. I could probably even do it during the show. If Shin's talking at some point and show people.
Well, from previous history, that's probably not going to happen a whole lot.
Hey. By the way, if you're listening to this and you have a background that you want us to use behind our heads, you could send it to us. In-game screens, drawings, fan art.
Mostly around our head.
Yeah, that too. If you want to somehow have Nidhogg peeping, somewhere over here, I don't know. You can figure it out. You could take our dimensions on our screen and then draw something around the boxes and send it to us, and then we can make it work. It's usually how I roll here. I'll make it work eventually. Somehow. So we do have a little bit of I don't know, us news, our news, something news.
Us news?
Yeah. Not like Maelstrom Radio news, but kind of Maelstrom Radio news. So, Maelstrom Radio, our FC, Garuda Gang on the Fanford server, we're recruiting. And if you're hearing this and you're like, hey, I really like these guys and I want to hang out with them because they're pretty fucking silly and they seem like a good time, then hop on to Fanfrit, move your character, or if you're already on Fanfrit, come join us. Garuda Gang is recruiting, and we're trying to get ready for Stormblood, and we're also going to go back and raid all the old stuff up to Alexander in preparation for Stormblood raiding. So if you want to become listen, if you're one of those folks who are like, hey, I want to get into raiding, and I am I'm scared, and I don't want to get yelled at. You can join us. We won't yell at you. We'll help you try to do our best to help you get better.
We may yell at you.
We I won't yell at you. He may yell at you. I won't yell at you.
I'm the terrible leader.
Yeah. It's good cop, bad cop, all 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You can definitely tell who the good cop is and who the bad cop is here.
Real quick. So if that is something you're into or want to be a part of, it doesn't matter if you're on PlayStation Network or PC, it doesn't matter. Discord is what we use to chat. You're welcome to download the mobile app, or because if you're at home on Wi-Fi, guess what? You can chat with us, throw on a headset into your phone. You're good to go. You can chat with us that way. Even if you just want to type in chat on your PlayStation, you can do that too. We don't force you to talk to us. So just say hi, be friendly, and help out your FC mates. And we're a pretty laid back group otherwise. So that's all the news I have on our personal front. So we're actually going to go into legit news, I guess. So first and foremost, Susan Calloway and the Primals return for the European Fan Fest, and that is February 18th and the 19th, 2017. That is a no shock, sort of. The Primals were probably a no-brainer. Susan Calloway, we didn't think was going to go past US Fan Fest. Like, actually, nobody thought she was going to go past US Fan Fest.
And now she's been to all three.
She's been to all
three.
Yeah. And her working relationship with Square is increasing, and it's no confirmation yet, but I mean, there's strong feelings from the community that Susan Calloway would be the voice that you hear in the Stormblood song.
And we should be getting at least a preview of the music. We've already been told that we're going to get some sort of musical announcement at EU Fan Fest, so this is just looking even better.
Absolutely. So expect us to have do live tweets of that. That's on the weekend, so expect us to do live tweeting. I don't think Shin's out of town, so you may even expect us just to be on stream, not actually streaming the event, but at least maybe live chatting about it here while we play Final Fantasy 14. I may have it up on one screen. I may just chat with you guys about it, and Shin may be here on Discord as well, chatting with everyone, our thoughts. And then we'll do, of course, an episode after that weekend and drop all of the goodies for you in your ears on Monday if you can't catch the show on a weekend. Heaven's Turn ends next Monday, so get your cock hats. It's really any excuse to throw that word. Cock.
Yeah, I know everyone likes hats.
Yeah, it's true. So you're the cock, and as we know, Eorzea has the biggest cocks of them all, the Chocobo. And if you have not done the yearly event, go do so. You have 1 week left. And the reason why you have 1 week left, Shin, what happens next Monday?
Next Monday, we have a lovely 24-hour estimated downtime patch. We get 3.5 Part 1. So starting around 2 a.m. Pacific to 2 a.m. Pacific the following day, we will have absolutely no server. The plus side of all of this is that we are going to have a show next Monday. So come in and chat with us. We're going to go through the patch notes and see what we're going to be getting in 3.5 Part 1.
Yes. Hopefully they drop patch in it. Now, they've been doing this weird thing where they used to drop patch notes the day before. We'd get them and read through them, and they were super nice about it. They were also doing preliminary patch notes, and that was cool too because we can kind of get the information that way. And there was some extra stuff they left out, but last couple points we've been getting them in the day of, and I'm just like, oh, God damn it.
I'm really hoping we at least get a preview this time so that we have them, but unfortunately it's not going to start until almost 12 hours after our show ends.
Yeah. Jerks.
But hey, we do get that lovely 3.5, and if you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely go check it out. Last week, Square Enix released a trailer for 3.5 called The Far Edge of Fate. It was pretty awesome. There's lots of cool little bits in there, and I know Reddit was already going through and theory crafting what's this, who's this, piecing different language files between the various releases in different languages. And
that crazy ending of the trailer that's super sped up. Someone slowed it down and took screen caps of every moment in that last bit. Depending on the time today of today's show and what we're talking about, we may do a rundown of that, a quick and dirty rundown of that trailer, and we can kind of show you our new video background where Shin and I can kind of do breakdowns of trailers for you guys live in the show, and then later you guys can hear it on the podcast, the visual, non-visual version of the show. Anyway. Oh, okay. He types in notes, and I'm like, I was about to read that.
One of these days, it's gonna be a really awkward note, and you're just gonna like, surprise.
Yeah, it may be. Maybe.
On that note, they really missed a really big quest name or text for the whole New Year's event.
Go on.
They had the perfect opportunity to name something "Rocks Out with Your Cocks Out," but they could have done it with like a whole pet tie-in.
They could have.
There was nothing with the chocobo. Like they just talked about it for like a couple paragraphs, and then that was it. They had so many tie-ins they could do with this.
They focus a lot on Mochi, and
they did.
And beating
that is
Mochi.
A very traditional thing.
It is. It was very traditional, like the Mochi beating. I'm not sure where they were going with the whole cock Mochi thing.
I think they just wanted to throw as much as they could at you.
Right. Cock or Mochi?
Yes.
Have we reached our cock quota for the day?
I don't think we can until it's finally out.
We're gonna be kicked off iTunes. Anyway. Google Play allows, some Stitcher allows, but iTunes will be like, this is getting dirty.
No, we're talking specifically about roosters.
Giant
or the chocobo variety.
Yeah. Anyway, we do have a.
And on that note.
Yeah, right. On that note, speaking of red.
Why are we speaking of red?
Red Mage. Last episode we did a breakdown of the Japanese Fan Fest. That was also our return from after the winter break. And we kind of held off talking about Red Mage. One, because we did a show theory crafting how Red Mage would play in Stormblood. And also, we kind of got a look at kind of how it plays. It's tentative, as we know what the Japanese Fan Fest is. It was a very tentative Fan Fest. But we kind of have a good idea. And I have a feeling that Shin and I maybe were kind of like, we didn't hit all the marks. We did hit some marks.
To be fair, we kind of shot all over the place and something had to stick because if not, we pretty much guessed the whole spectrum.
Well, good. That's how we theory craft over here. We shoot a big wad all over the place and whatever lands. We'll get something right. What is happening this episode? I blame Koji Fox for this year. Ever since FanFest in Vegas last year, it's been one big cock tease. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. All right, let's go.
Or as Chili's pointed out in chat, FanFest was just the tip.
It was.
I don't think he was referencing that, but I stole what he said in chat to use that. Anyways, Red Mage.
After he comes in after of the iceberg. All right, yeah. So the red.
We can tie this in really well. The Red Mage has the chicken knife.
Cock knife. I get it. Rowan. Listen, we come full circle now. All right. Red Mage, no base class, starts at 50. That's also tentative. Range base magic DPS. So were either of us right on that? Because we were.
I think so. Like we definitely thought that they were magic DPS, or we definitely had one suggestion that was magic DPS, but I don't know if we were completely sure about the whole ranged piece. I think because they had the sword, we liked having either it was like a I don't know. I think it was we were talking like a physical or a frontline magic fighter almost, as opposed to a ranged. Again, we still haven't seen what it is, so maybe they did mention that it is a very positional class, so maybe they are going to be back and forth all the time, trying to figure out where they should best stand with the range. I know Bard has a little bit of issues moving around with the whole ranged and not being able to run around anymore. So maybe they're going to have either really short cast times or be able to cast and run. If they have cast and run, I know I'm switching classes.
Yeah, I mean, if you paid for, because I could show the video, right? Like we all know somebody captured the video from FanFest, and I could show it, but in good faith, I paid for that content, and Square Enix, I really don't want them coming at me or us and shutting us down for showing that out. We really shouldn't, but it's out there. I'm just saying, just go look. I'm not going to tell you where you can find it. It's on the internet. You can go find a video of how kind of like how it plays, or early and a tentative look of how it plays. So what we see right now is that it takes its rapier, it flips it over, it takes its magic crystal thing that floats behind it, attaches it to the hilt, and does far like range DPS.
Pew pew lasers.
Pew pew lasers. Then, from what we could tell, after it does pew pew lasers, and I don't know if they're cooldowns or what, but it rushes. It does a rush in. It's not slow. It does zoom in there, kind of like a dragoon would rush in, or maybe a ninja. It rushes in and it does a bunch of melee DPS and pops out, and all of a sudden like does a move, and then things die instantly. Like just big, like very. If you want a class that is very like look at the show that I'm about to put on, it is Red Mage. And you can kind of, we don't know what the spells are, but we do know it's a mix between Black Mage and White Mage magic. So it makes me think that it's going to be I would almost say like Bard-esque in playing, like DPS buffing kind of thing, but I don't know. Could be wrong on that too.
It'll be interesting to see. Like they did show it, it's a very showy class, and there's a lot of interesting effects that they made for Red Mage. But also, I think they're developing Red Mage as with the new skill system and the changes and updates that they're putting into place for the existing classes. So it'd be really interesting to see how the other classes are affected, and maybe they are getting some new updated animations or something similar to make them as visually attractive or flashy, maybe.
I do love a flashy mage.
Well, you are a Dark Knight. That's like the flashy tank.
It is the flashy tank. I love it.
And I play White Mage, which, to be fair, is the flashiest, as we found out last night.
Of the healers. Technically, you're right. Absolutely. So
my group does not like the holy spam.
Come to Garuda Gang, because it's all pizzazz.
Flashy.
We're flashy. It's all pizzazz. Chili in chat, also his auto attacks work from range. So
did we get that confirmed though?
Or was that tentative?
I think that's tentative. I think that they asked about it, but they weren't completely sure if it was going to work from range.
Although Chili could have some inside info. Wait, listen, it's confirmed.
Give us your secrets.
Chili's gonna be watch. Chili type 2 seconds later. Like, listen, I got this. Confirmatione, the Chili. None of that was a language. Probably pissed off a lot of other people that speak languages. So, like we did last episode, instead of just doing a recap, we also took the Famitsu article interview and mixed it in with this as well. So there are some questions that Famitsu had asked Yoshi P about Red Mage. The first question they asked is, why did you pick Red Mage as the new job? Yoshi responds with, when I became the director / producer of Final Fantasy XIV, I told my team that we have to implement jobs that are true to Final Fantasy. So we returned to those roots. Since 2017 is also the 30th year of anniversary for Final Fantasy. Many players look back at old jobs, and when we looked at the roots of Final Fantasy, we couldn't leave out Red Mage. So we made the decision. also received. I'm pinning that sentence real quick. I'm gonna come back to that, but pinning that sentence. We also received a lot of feedback that many players wanted to play Red Mage with Final Fantasy XIV graphics and the battle system, which made our decision very easy. All right. So, pretty straightforward answer. Like, the fans wanted it. There's 30th year anniversary of Final Fantasy. It just made sense. What I didn't realize and what kind of didn't dawn on me is that we looked at, like, and guys, I've been stressing this out, and it's something that I've noticed since FanFest in Vegas, that Yoshi P keeps saying, like, hitting it home real hard. This expansion is the raids are gonna feel like Final Fantasy-esque raids. The dungeons are gonna feel like Final Fantasy dungeons. The classes, we're looking at the 30, like, he's pushing that Final Fantasy feel. So, listen, I'm not saying that Blue Mage confirmed, but I'm just saying, like, I think we're gonna look at some classic classes coming this way. Just saying.
So does this mean that if we really, really, really want a class, then the more that we ask them about it, the higher chance that it has to be implemented? Because photographer class, yeah, that needs to be a thing.
That needs to be that can't be I mean, crafting.
That needs to be a class.
Maybe a crafting class?
Yeah, it needs its own. We need like a set of fluff classes that are like purely for fun, and then need to be able to take awesome photographs of people in the middle of action.
I mean, we're getting the update to the camera where we can put like hearts and shit. Like, you know,
Not the same.
it's like Instagram, but for Final Fantasy.
We need a Prompto class.
We could just call it the Prompto.
It's like a machinist, but useful.
Except all he's gonna do is take pictures of the buffest dude playing. He's gonna look at the Rogadin with no shirt on, just constantly with the pompadour or some sort of mullet. Just constantly take pictures of that guy. Chili in chat, fighter confirmed. Yep, that's one of the original classes. Hey, fighter's a better choice than dancer in that damn damn trailer. Hashtag no dancer. Hashtag fighter class confirmed. Well, one of the jobs planned for 1.0 was Shepherd.
I'm not going to touch this one. This episode's already on dangerous grounds. We shouldn't touch that one.
No, there's plenty of sheep jokes there. There's a Wooly Willy joke in there too, but I'm not going to touch that either. All right, let's move on. So in that position, all right. So Famitsu asked, in that position, does it fall? In what position does it fall when compared to other DPS jobs? And Shin, go ahead and read what Yoshi P has to say to us, the people.
Wait, wrong one. So when asked about the DPS position there, the ranking there, is that it's highly dependent on how the battles progress and party members. So it's hard to say. It's the new job, so we will want to make it exciting to use for everyone. However, while other companies tend to appeal to new release jobs by overpowering them, stay assured that this won't be the case for Final Fantasy XIV. We will make sure to balance it out with other jobs. And I think that's something that they have done fairly well in the past. Like when they brought in Astrologian, Dark Knight, and Machinist, I didn't find that a lot of people started playing them, but they weren't really overpowered compared to the other classes. On the flip side, Warrior is pretty damn powerful, and that's one of the base classes. Same thing with Summoner nowadays.
I has Carbuncle.
So yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see how they decide to balance this. But regardless of the balance, regardless of how useful it is, expect to see 1,000,001 red mages the day of release, and probably for a few months after that.
it's gonna. I mean, they're gonna be at 50, so it's gonna be all the 50 dungeons, but it's probably gonna be whatever. It's gonna be red mage, whatever the other two classes are. I mean, if blue mage is healer, and if they do release samurai as tank, then it's just gonna be straight samurai, two red mage, and blue mage parties.
It's gonna be beautiful.
It's gonna be a man. I can't do it again. That the Brayflox runs were terrible with machinist.
Yeah, that's Brayflox though.
But it was it's two machinists and astrologian and me as Dark Knight. And astrologian were broken then, and machinists weren't like they were like the hyped class. Everybody's like machinists, and everyone's like this. They couldn't play it. Chili in chat. Instead, we were going to release the new jobs as rubbish jobs till we eventually patch them to be good. Hey, you know what, Chili though? Compared to like other MMOs, I'd rather they pull the classes up to where everyone else is instead of nerf all the classes down to where the other classes are. Wow. Just saying. Somebody that like plays WoW is like, you're so right. It's nervous. I'm gonna take the next Famitsu question, and then I'll have Shin read Yoshi. Shin is the unofficial Yoshi. Some players might be surprised at the fact that. Wait, no, did you read that already? God damn, did I?
No, I did not.
All right, some players might be surprised with the fact that Red Mage will be DPS. Yoshi.
I was gonna say if I'm Yoshi, does that make you Koji Fox? Because that would fit in perfectly.
I'm okay with
that'd be really creepy, but anyways.
I'm okay with this. I'm totally no, that's canon now. I'm gonna you can cosplay Yoshi P at the next fan fest, and I'll cosplay Yoshi Fox. Koji Fox. It'd be great.
Please look forward to it.
Yeah.
Anyways, Yoshida had to say about the DPS or Red Mage. I have also the image of Red Mage being a hybrid job between Black and White Mage. However, we had to fit it into the Final Fantasy XIV formula. Otherwise, it might turn out as a job that wasn't too useful. Final Fantasy XIV is a standalone title in the Final Fantasy series, so while keeping the essential roots of the Red Mage job in general, it will be unique to 14 as well. You will see it as a new type of Red Mage.
I'm down. We already saw their flare emote, so I think they'll do a good job of kind of like they do with all the classes, making it feel unique to Final Fantasy XIV, but still giving that old school Final Fantasy flair. And I'm down for that. I really am down for that. I think it'll be an interesting take on the class. So now,
I am. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, do you think that, based on how this is playing, do you think it's going to be going to have to maybe do soft heals, because it is white mage? I mean, where do you think the white mage part, DPS? I can see black mages does DPS damage, but where do you think the white mage part comes into this?
I could see it being more of almost like a survivability thing with self heals, almost. Kind of like Summoner does have a little bit of healings with Physic, although that's not really useful at all. I could also see it similar maybe to the Blood Mage, but to a significantly less degree, if you're familiar with that from Vanguard.
I know of it.
I too know of it. For those that aren't familiar with it, basically Blood Mage was a class where your main goal was to DPS as much as possible, and as you DPS'd, you would actually I don't really know much about Blood Mage. Anyways, basically the idea would be to DPS and attack the mob and have a secondary target that would receive healing for that. Whether that target's always going to be you, or you can designate a target, maybe that depends on how they decide to play it. But I could see that as you're damaging, some healing goes to a secondary target. Not enough to actually be considered a healer, but enough that kind of bounces off.
Do you think that it's possible for it to play as in such a way that the magic crystal that floats around it, um, I'm not gonna say like the turrets or anything like that, but somehow like the damage it does, like in retrospect, the crystal also puts out like like gives it heals and certain like, all right, you do this much damage, then you get like like a 2% heal back based on the damage, and the crystal kind of pops it off at you.
Yeah, I could see something along those lines. Unfortunately, they do want to stick with that 14 formula where there's a tank class, a healing class, and DPS classes. So I don't think we'll see something that will be anywhere near the power of a healer, but enough that maybe it's something happens and it gives a little bit more of a break. Like I know paladins have the ability to kind of give a little bit of a healing, and monks have abilities for it, and bards, like a lot of different classes have secondary or tertiary abilities that give them a little bit of healing. So maybe we'll see the red mage have a little bit more than that, and maybe I'll be able to apply it to the whole party as opposed to single targets or just themselves.
I'm down.
I would almost like to see something like they drop an AE and it's like a healing fire. It heals the surrounding area and also burns everybody else.
Agreed. I'm with you. I am with you. Kind of based on what we saw, but we don't know exactly. Like, it looks cool. I'll tell you this. Go. I'm not saying yet again. Not telling you where to find that video, but just type the inner. Listen, you know, if you found us, you can find this. Just go to Google. You'll find it. So
Well,
it's
the
flashing.
kind of interesting thing, if we have the red mage and we have a blue mage, and if the blue mage is supposed to be a healer and the red mage is supposed to be a DPS, I wonder if they could almost be very, very similar in ways that they play, with just the numbers a little bit different in each direction.
It would be interesting based on the clues and the hints and the the New Year's resolution poems. Kind of like he's pushing real hard in that whole blue red thing as of late. Now, I mean, I think what was the last episode where I made the comment that the shirt, it was a possibility to be two classes, and that it was vague enough for Blue Mage, but it was also vague enough for Samurai based on the Spider-Man Samurai comic that came out in Japan. And then Yoshi P actually saying, you know, Sam Raimi Samurai. The whole, I mean, some people I think were digging, but apparently that he actually said that on stage or with Famitsu. And it would be interesting that he hinted at two classes with one shirt. I mean, Yoshi P's trolly as hell, so. And Chili in chat real quick. My monk crit healed for 7k recently. Was everyone else around when that happened, or did you like crit heal like yourself? And you're like, guys, I crit healed myself, and it's like, all right, Chili, sure you did. Like the FC's like, Chili, and he's like, how do you prove it? Chili, it's okay. I believe you. It's okay. I don't know who you're playing with, but we here at Maelstrom Radio believe Chili and his 7k monk crits heals. Let's start a shirt fund. My monk crits for 7k. All funds go to Chili. The mac and cheese foot. Listen, all we gotta do is sell like 2 shirts, and we can ship him like a case of mac and cheese. So we do still have some time. I don't know if we have anything else left for. I mean, we did our big Red Mage show. We kind of got a little hint, and I don't think we have too much more on Red Mage that we could possibly at this moment. I don't think you and I can add. Chili.
Gary crafted lots, and we were terribly, terribly wrong on most of it.
Yes, not all of it, but most of it.
Not all of it.
I still like the idea of the book with the weapons. I still think that was a badass idea. Still want it. Still want it in my life.
I still think that Alize is going to have something to do with the whole Red Mage thing. Considering she summoned the sword out of the book, and I could definitely see her having a place with the Red Mage quest lines in the expansion. But maybe we'll get some new information next week.
Truth. So we'll find out story. So yet again, next week, join us for patch 3.5. We'll hopefully go over, as long as they release them, we'll go over the 3.5 preliminary patch notes. We'll chat about it. We'll discuss it. We'll break them down. We do have some time today. Shin, I think we can release our new kind of like video breakdown screen where you and I can break down trailers and talk about them live on the show. For you at home, you're going to be able to hear the trailer. We're sure that at this point you've seen the trailer, but at least we'll be describing kind of what we're seeing and kind of give you guys a little breakdown of what's going on. So you'll hear the trailer at least, and you'll still hear us as well. People watch.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say people watching this here live on mail at twitch.tv/Maelstrom Radio. They're gonna be get to see the trailer and our faces and chatting.
Those of you who would like to see it can also go and watch us on either YouTube or no, mostly YouTube, isn't it?
Mostly YouTube, but we do keep the videos up here for a while. I could just keep them in
till Twitch destroys them.
Yeah, I mean, I could create them as an archive video. It's easier because it's on YouTube. Listen, I do a lot. I could do more, but I do a lot. Anywho, let's see if I blow it all up. Let's see what happens. And I'm gonna do one quick thing here. Oh wait! Before I head over, Chili, if Blue Mage is real, I expect Raubon to come out as a Blue Mage. He duels short swords just like Blue, and his swords are old relic for Blue and 11.
Dual wield requires 2 arms. Just saying.
Oh no. Why would he hide that? I mean, like this whole time he just comes out. He's like, "I'm a blue mage." Like it's a blue mage trapped in a closet, waiting to just tell everybody.
It's with his other arm.
He keeps it in the closet. He just like opens it and cries a little. He's like, "I miss you." Somebody's gonna walk and be like, "Ah, God, what's that smell?"
And that's the start of the Alamegan conflict.
Yeah.
Someone opened the wrong door.
Experimental comedy Mondays, everybody. He could hold it in his mouth now. Are we still talking about the arm or the sword?
I really hope the sword at this point.
He is from Alamigo. It's the Great Arm Conflict 2017. Stormblood was the name of his the fist that was lost. That's what he called his arm, Stormblood. No? Alright.
They are raising an army.
Now we're just making army puns now? Army puns? Gonna click over and see if did the scene change? Okay, the scene changed. I think we can watch videos now. We did it. Oh, gotta move that though.
End scene.
Yeah, alright, hey.
This content is rated teen for blood, language, sexual themes, use of alcohol, and violence.
That's how they roll on the old trailers. So I do have this turned up slightly so you guys can kind of hear it, but hopefully it won't be too loud so you can still hear us. Let's go.
Omega? That Hulk has been gathering
dust beneath the plains of Carter now since the Allagans breathed their last, and none alive knows how to wake it.
Real quick, can we talk about the guy that like always saw the bottom half of his mouth? Me, I think it's Nail. I think it's Nail Van Dyke. Just saying. Just saying. I think it's Nail. Good old Nail. We'll get back to that. I'm stoked for this fight.
I'm kind of worried about the whole platform disappearing, or very, very slivers, like small slivers of platform.
He's like busting out of a cake. He's a sexy lady. He's coming out sexy cake.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, right? Here's a demon. Now, I didn't know that Final Fantasy XIV was getting a FPS Beast Tribe daily, but I'm kind of into it. I don't know what that dance is, but I know that dance. But the monkey,
we're gonna have all the dances.
Can't wait.
I think this means that I have to go and finish up the Beast Tribe quests.
Yeah, I need to get on that.
I think my Vath is up, but
I need to catch up.
Can't go wrong with Hildebrand though.
Yeah, but I don't think we're getting a Hildebrand trial though, which kind of saddens me.
There's always that. Oh, I guess this is 3.5 part 2 as well.
Yeah.
That's okay. If they're focusing on 4.0, that's good.
We're getting some new hairstyles. We're getting to some new gear, and I'm sorry, but I do... Real quick, hold on. Jump back a tick. And jump back a tick. See if I can pause there. I want all that gear from...
all the fancy, like...
From, what's it called? The new mock... Raid. Oh my. I need... just look at it.
I like it, but I'm also really looking forward to the new crossover event gear.
The Garo gear?
Looks pretty awesome. Yeah.
The Garo gear looks so good. Now, the crafting gear, like the first of all, Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, his gear. But also we were getting... Did you see the 90s grunge look with the flannel shirt tied around the waist?
Yep.
Alright, just making sure. Are these like fishing what are these poles? They're all glowing.
I think we're getting new crafting weapons.
Oh, cool. And
crafting items, I should say.
The long-awaited Eggy Glamour. I can summon carbuncles, red ones.
Yeah, you can do red ones now.
I'm gonna name that one Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi! Sick. I don't have Summoner, but I'm... Yes! Listen.
I'm slightly more disturbed by this house.
I don't care. It's gonna be our new house.
The most disturbing part is I know that this will be our new house because, yeah,
I mean,
that's the thing that's gonna happen.
Why you don't want to live in a giant monkey?
No,
oh.
I do want to get an aquarium though. Those look kind of cool.
They do look cool. Feast, the new map, but it's a new Feast map that's in the Shroud.
It looks actually kind of awesome. Like it's similar to the other Feast maps that we have, but in a new environment. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm totally suck at Feast, but I would love to spectate.
Oh my... Real quick, I love this song. I need this song in my life.
This is a Final Fantasy 14 1.0 song, isn't it?
Yes. This is Psalm All Hard, which I'm down with.
It looks very interesting. Very similar to Psalm the original, but as the hard modes tend to be, a little different.
Yeah.
Some of these creatures look kind of odd, though.
Yeah. I do like the lava flying over us as we're running through.
You won't when we actually get there.
Because it'll hit us and we'll die. Yeah.
You have lava crabs and lava scorpions. So this whole thing, the first thing I thought of was like Goma from the Zelda series,
Yes.
or all the similar bosses. There was one that was in Wind Waker that was hanging from the ceiling.
I know which one you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah, in Dragon Roost Cavern, and it was lava again.
Yeah. The Diadem update. This looks awesome. I'm kind of stoked for this. I get to fight a saber-toothed tiger.
I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to play out, especially with the secondary part here where a whole bunch of groups are going into this almost like a raid-like area.
To fight, yeah. It is very multi-grouped, large, like almost Alliance raid content.
If you're out there and want to explain the diadem to us, I have no idea what's going on, but it looks like fun.
Yep. And we come here in the next part of the trailer. This is the Dune Scaith part. Dune Scaith? Dune Scathi? Probably not saying that right at all. But how awesome is this boss fight? The boss fight on the airship. Look at that guy.
Well, it looks really awesome at the beginning because there's walls on the sides,
And
and then they disappear.
he just knocks him off.
So those of you who have trouble with Leviathan Extreme or Titan or pretty much anything Sephiroth,
Yeah.
not gonna be fun. I do like the whole like running through a city as part of the dungeon. That's kind of cool.
I agree. This is, you could tell, like, I've been saying this is very Alice in Wonderland. And this is, like, it's very, like, just, you could tell it's super Alice in Wonderland inspired.
A few seconds ago, we had the roses.
Yeah.
And then we have the floating chair.
Can't tell if this is the ending boss that Diabolus has been summoned out of the Void Ark. I would assume that may be her, based on how large the room is, and
I don't think so.
You don't think you think Diabolus would be the last boss?
I would think so.
It's possible.
Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do?
And of course, he's back.
Yep.
Flame.
Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? My blade is...
And also we have the return of Yugiri, which I'm excited about.
I'm a little worried.
I don't know.
But hopeful.
I don't know. Belsar's Wall is one of the new dungeons we're getting in the patch.
This is definitely giving me a 2.0 vibe again.
It's that 2.0.
Not having been able to do 2.0 at the end and just having people run through and power through it, it's going to be kind of cool going through this and seeing it when it's at level. Maybe not with the whole everyone dying and blood everywhere, but...
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of tell...
And everything goes on flashing.
Uh-huh. I'm a...
To mark a new beginning. My pain, my longing, you shall have it all!
Such a damn powerful ending to that trailer.
I do find it really interesting, and I like this, that the 3.5 image usually is the main characters of that patch, and it's the Warrior of Light with the staff there, and Ida, Papamo, and Alize and Alfie, I believe.
Yep. Very much so. And the people listening, just to let you know that at the very end of the trailer, what we can surmise based on kind of the pictures and kind of what we saw at FanFest with Omega, from what I can tell, that what's being summoned at the end, the primal, is Omega.
Let's hope not, but
I don't know. And there's also a very large explosion near the shroud, so I am one of those people that believe that Square, like Yoshi P would be one of those people like, all right, we played it safe for 2 like 2.0 was like we came back, we fixed it. Heavensward was we gave people kind of like we had it in the barrel. Like I feel like Heavensward was already in the barrel. Like it was ready to go anyway in 1.0. They just never released it, so they just released it now with a like kind of a different story. But I think it was already in the barrel, ready to go. Like they had the area because we went to part of it already in 2.0 series. What I don't think they were thinking of it was they were going forward. It's getting almost triple the budget now. It's like, let's just fuck up a piece of the world. Like, I mean, I see it.
We know that Omega is also the whole rating thing for the next expansion. Like, that's going to be the major part. So I don't know if they'll necessarily summon Omega as part of this either.
I don't know. It would give you... We do know Omega is part of the main story, but it would give us a good reason to, like, want to, like, be in that expansion. Like give us enough of a drive to, like, man, I really want to get to Stormblood. I really want to get out and start doing it. Like, all right, for example, like, I think the biggest part for me in any MMO is, like, especially like 2.0 coming to the end when and spoiler, if you are listening to this and you've not finished 2.0, bless your heart. If you're, by the way, you're welcome to join us on Famford if you're new. But spoiler, so you may want to turn away if you're into for the story. So maybe fast forward like, I don't know, let's give you like 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I'll make it quick. So just so you know, when we got to the ending and all of our the scions had passed, and I say that with bunny ears quotations, it drove me to be like, damn, I like the Heavensward. We were like lost. We had was Alfie and Tataru.
That's all we need.
We had Tataru. She was making new duds for people. And we really had no one else. And like going through Heavensward, like it was like such a somber feeling. Like I don't role play, but I do get attached to the story, and I do get attached to my character in the story. And like I do get like I love a good story because I start to feel what my character feels, or as it would feel it, and I feel like getting like my biggest thing is like we know that Gaius Xenos of Yay Galvus. Damn, I'm gonna get that guy's name right sooner or later.
One of these days.
Yeah, right. Xenos Yay Galvus. We know that his thing is that he's not going to be like any of the other. What are those? Damn, not the Garlean leaders. Thank you. Sorry, I always get the Ascians and damn Garleans mixed up.
Ascians are big. They have the cloaks. They generally want to end the world. Some of them are kind of just confused and don't.
Yeah, some of them also like do the Dragon Ball Z, like merge their powers together and to become one. So, Alfie, Tataru is all we need. Chili and Jet, and Shin right after. Alfie is best. So to wind it out. So anyway, like it gives you that drive, and I think that drive is important. So seeing that at the very end, that large explosion, the white light. I don't know who's going to die. I'm not saying I know who's going to die. I'm not saying we will know who's going to die, but they may not kill anybody. They may just kill a random part of the world off, and it may be different. We may load into 4.0 and that may look different, or at the end it may phase into a different looking area and it may look destroyed. And it may be part of the Shroud. We do know we're getting a whole new...
We've already lost a self. We can't lose any more.
I'm not saying a self, but what if we lose part of the Shroud? Like, what if we... And that leads into a whole new housing area. Like, why... Like, remember, it was tied in the story, like, giving people, like, damn, like, Like, not saying that the housing area would
Shroud's
be
destroyed. Here's
yeah.
housing.
There's housing. Yeah, I'm saying, like, wouldn't it be like kind of a weird thing to like the part of the Shroud's destroyed? I don't know.
The whole burning woods thing.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be cool. Like, not to say that I want the Shroud destroyed, but it would be interesting. But I'm just saying it would be a really interesting take on like dude, we didn't hurt people, but we hurt people are clearly in that trailer. People are dying. Like nondescript NPCs are dying. People, just that you could see that in the trailer. Like red shirts are dying. But that may be enough, and if it's big enough to destroy part of the world that we physically know, it may be an interesting turn of events, because a lot of people maybe see the world as safe, like the world itself is safe, maybe not the people but the world. And if the world gets damaged, that may hurt a lot of people, because a lot of people get attached to certain spots as much as they get attached to people. And I think that may be an interesting way of sending us into an expansion, is that maybe the Shroud gets hurt. I think it would be an interesting take.
The elementals would definitely not like that.
No, they would not.
We definitely have a reason for Gridania and them to join in the fight, though.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty sure Morrowweb would just, you want to kill something? All right, let's do it. Connie Senna, a little bit more reserved.
Yeah, well, she's like, old. But looks young. She's like an elf. Morroweb's more like, I got 2 guns and a lot of time. I'm like, how do I send you flowers? Everyone's going with that. I just have a crush on Morroweb. Anyway. That pretty much, you got any final thoughts for that trailer or the Red Mage?
I have no final thoughts, but I'm really looking forward to next week. See what we're getting in part 1 and what we have to wait for in part 2.
I agree. Well, I got nothing left. Chilean chat reminded us that Diadem is 72 people, so there's that. I'm excited. Well, we have a new outro. We kind of redid our outro a little bit. So, I want
all the technical upgrades this week.
Yeah. So, yep, that's all. Anyway, we're out of gas here. So, Shin and I are going to aetherite over to the Drowning Witch and have ourselves an ale. We will see you all next week.
Maelstrom Radio is a production of MaelstromRadio.com and Blackfire Media Productions. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. Opening theme provided by Benjamin Anthony James. You can find more of their music over at SoundCloud.com/Ben773. Our outro is provided by Sodo. You can find more of their music over at SoundCloud.com/Sodo. Views and opinions expressed on this episode are those of Maelstrom Radio and their hosts, and do not reflect the views and opinions of Square Enix. And until sea swallows all, keep listening.